Hi, I'm Missy Gannon.
And I'm Zoe Andyke.
And we're going to show you some round 2 coverage of the MVP Open, the FPO field.
It's pretty exciting stuff, being one of the most challenging courses, gold level courses in the whole nation.
And I heard there's a bunch of really good shots on this coverage, so can't wait to see it. All right, here we have hole 1, Paige Pierce on the tee. Hole 1 today played as the hardest hole on the course for the field, playing at over 1 stroke above par. So even getting par on this hole is pretty difficult. So if any birdies happen, it's amazing.
That's the truth. Yeah, being a par 4, it's totally an appropriate par for the women, and a great score to take it for. Obviously, going into the water is OB, as we saw yesterday. Sarah with the sidearm, putting herself in a great position. It looks like it's going to hyzer into the center of the fairway.
Out
of bounds.
Yeah, and yesterday we did have 1 birdie, and that was by Paige Pierce. Today there were no birdies, and only 37% of the field parred it today. So that just shows you how difficult this hole is.
37%. Yeah, that's definitely a lower percentage, but you walk up to a first hole like this at any big event, whether it be a major national tour or pro tour, your nerves are going to get in the way of your practice plan. Any competitor probably say the same thing.
Yeah. And actually where Rebecca just put her drive, that's kind of the safer play, and that's what I've been doing so far both rounds, and it's been working out pretty good. Or you can just do what Paige Bjerkaas is doing and just bomb one
Full
right over the pond.
Straight over the water. Yeah. Beautiful drive.
I would expect that to probably be a Ballista Pro, but I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. So for her third shot here, Sarah finds the fairway. As you can see, there's tough stances everywhere too on this hole. We got the Christmas tree farm in the way, so if you are anywhere near a tree, there goes the possibility of a run-up.
Yeah, it looks like Rebecca worked it out from there just fine.
Excellent placement there by Bjerkaas on her second shot. Now, see, it looks to me like Paige landed a lot more left than what she was planning. A lot of the time for the right-handed, backhanded thrower, left is a little more friendly, but that shot looked a little bit tough with the trees.
Yeah. And on the opposite note, for Sarah, being on the right side seems to work for her pretty good. Still not an easy shot, but a good forehand from there.
Rebecca straight in and straight at the gap.
Yeah. Wow, Paige got way up there.
Darn. Unfortunately, though, it looks like she's going to take an OB stroke on that shot.
Wow, Paige going over the OB onto the green with the jump putt. Pretty.
And it looks like Paige had a stroke of good luck prior to what just happened. She actually kicked in, must have hit a tree and deflected her, gave her a chance at the 3.
Taking for par, which is, again, just fine.
A great score. Solid putting all weekend long. So we got 2 bogeys and 2 safe pars right there. Moving on to hole 2. Paige Pierce is still first on the box.
Yep. Hole 2, relatively straightforward. There is OB all along the right side. There's an OB rock wall. Those trees on the left side, I mean, for me, is kind of where I aim and hope to and get a little flex out of it around those and pop through, just like you saw Rebecca do there. This, it should be noted that Kona was the only birdie on this hole today, Kona Panis.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. She killed it today. I saw on the scoreboard.
Yeah, this is a great second hole. I mean, you can't really go full flex without tempting the OB or that group of trees there on the left.
Paige laying up.
Again, another nice upshot. These ladies are looking for their threes.
Yep.
Rebecca Cox coming out of the woods really clean right there.
Yeah.
That's a great shot.
You just never know kind of when you're in those little trees. Sometimes they're forgiving, but if it's just a weird angle, it could be bad. So it looked like Sarah had the closest bid for a 2, but unfortunately she did not land that one.
I've seen a lot of people this weekend actually hit the cage on this basket. It's not really that it sits much higher. It's just that you have the downhill slope, and most likely, especially in the FPO division, we're putting uphill at that basket, you know, to get our 2. So
yeah.
Let's see, Paige cashing in her par right there. Oh, it's a bogey.
Oh, did she go a B? She might have went a B.
Drop in for Sarah.
Yeah, so 3 pars, 1 bogey on hole 2. Now we're on to hole 3. This is a really sharp right angle off the tee. You really want something to hold the turn for a long time and hopefully get a little flex, but honestly, being right is not that bad.
Yeah, being right, much better than being left. And it's kind of funny. I've heard a few players this weekend say, my company doesn't make a disc that finishes like this hole requires. And so I think that this is a really challenging and a great hole. It's going to bring the player up to the level of the course.
Oh, yeah. And you're throwing uphill and you're trying to throw an Annie if you're throwing a backhand, which can be a challenge in and of itself. It looks like Paige ended on the left side. Again, yeah, you're going to find a ton of trees over there, and it's going to make the upshot a bit difficult.
And Maple being no different than virtually any other wooded course in the world, if you're off the fairway on most of these holes, your scramble game better be up.
Yeah.
That was a good shot there.
Yeah.
Approaching the green, we've got Rebecca Cox here.
Outside circle 1. Oof.
Almost. Slightly off to the left there for Paige.
Yeah, so this hole played just over a half a stroke above par. So not the most difficult, but still up there.
Still always a good 3 to card.
Yes.
Paige Bjerkaas' putting, I have to say, is just so on point. She's at a really great time in her season right now. I feel like she's peaking, and her performance definitely shows. All right, we're back here. We're on hole 4 at Maple Hill. It's not that far away, is it, Missy?
It is not.
It's just that it's straight downhill.
Yeah.
And there's a few trees in the way.
There are a few trees. And honestly, if you make it past the first couple trees, you're not stoked, but you're happier than
You're looking
hitting
for
the first. Yeah. Yeah. So like right there, Rebecca went straight down the pipe, but hit a tree.
A lot of these girls, they got clipped down a little bit early. They're hoping to recover a par, which is a very tough feat when you're landing that short.
Yeah.
Looks like a great upshot by Paige Bjerkaas right there. Oh, roller shot down the hill.
Couldn't see where that finished.
And that was an excellent up and down recovery, it looks like, for Sarah Hokom.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, so even if you hit one of the first trees, it doesn't feel good, but there are opportunities to still get up and down. Like we said, it's not a very far hole, but it does feel really good when you pure that straight line down.
With 3 distinct gaps off the tee shot. Which one will you take?
Right. Taking into par.
Again, 3 is a great score on this hole, even though it's not that far away. It's just so tricky to get down to the green safely.
Paige going in par as well.
Oh boy. Sorry. Moving on to hole 5 next. She takes her time. She makes sure she makes that bogey. She doesn't want to take a double there. Good play, Rebecca. 2 3s, 2 4s, and now we're moving on to hole 5. I don't know if people love this hole or love to hate this hole. Distinct lefty gap over OB the whole way, or sidearm gap. It's like Sarah hit.
Wow, that was like great.
Oh man, great job. She's pretty happy about that and very surprised.
Wow, that was awesome. Here's the other route that you'll see a lot of the women take. The righty inside gap. It's not easy at all. You need to, and we see Paige actually going the outside line with a backhand Annie, which is another play.
2 aggressive shots. Both inside and outside are good routes. Obviously, outside is the quickest way to the birdie.
Yeah.
I think most people are typically, when they're throwing the right-handed right side gap, are planning on taking a 3 on the hole.
Yeah.
So to watch Paige Bjerkaas throw that, not sidearm or left-handed, was impressive stuff.
It looks like we didn't catch Rebecca's tee shot, but seems like she did go OB and threw from the drop zone.
Oh. All right. Scrapping our way to a double bogey.
Well played up shot.
Yeah.
Gives her a putt.
Save the bogey.
Oh, it's very close.
Ooh.
So close to cashing in that birdie.
Yeah, this is a great birdie to get.
You see Paige is taking a triple bogey there. She's not very happy about it, but on the course at this point in time, middle of the event, this is when you're going to see the makings of a champion or a previous champion either dig deep or crumble.
Yeah, this played as the 5th hardest hole on the course today, playing about 3/4 of a stroke over par.
Excellent birdie.
That is fantastic.
I got her 1, 2, or possibly 3 strokes on the field right there.
Oh yeah, and Hokom was the only one to get a birdie on this hole today, and it's amazing.
Oh, and there's our fish. He's retrieving all of our discs that we didn't plan on having out in the water.
He is not even from here. I think we were talking to him the other day, and he literally flew into town to help out with this event and be a scuba diver.
So great, helping out the players.
Yeah. All right, hole 6. This one is super hard.
Tee shot demands that you will throw a straight pipe up the fairway, and it doesn't matter if you are right-handed, left-handed, sidearm, or backhand. You've got to be able to throw a straight shot.
Yes, dead straight for a long time. There is OB all along the right side. That rock wall is OB, and yeah, this was playing as the 3rd hardest hole today. Doesn't surprise me at all, honestly.
Beautiful job by Rebecca Cox there. It looks like she'll be just outside of the circle putting for the birdie.
Oh, nice. Kick right. I mean left. I willed it over.
I think it leaked right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hoping to recover. She's got a putt from there though.
Yeah.
It's a tough putt. On this fairway, or actually when you're approaching this green, you must be on the right-hand side or the left-hand side. There's no middle about it. As you just saw, Sarah just had to throw a layup shot. A lot of these holes are going to demand something like that throughout the fairway from you. You just don't have the choice.
Paige splitting the trees. Oh man. Yeah, those trees right in the middle there are an obstacle. Like you said, you have to be on the left or the right.
Paige makes her comeback there. She's definitely looking a little bit frazzled at this point, but you know, Paige has so much experience and a lot of experience here at Maple Hill. This is the type of course that will get in any competitor's head, and this is that time when you have to think about or focus on what you want, not what you don't want. That's for every player in every division. So 2 pars, a single and a double bogey there as we approach the next hole again. All right, here we are on hole 7, which was actually ace yesterday. Different basket, same tee for the ladies as it is for the men. Again, it's a demanding straight shot. You cannot choose the right or left-hand side. Totally lined by trees.
Yep. You just want to throw it as straight as possible. Honestly, you know, she got a little lucky there, not hitting many trees, so she might actually have a look for a putt up there. But if you can keep it as straight as possible with a little bit of hyzer at the end,
You'd be under the basket.
you'll be which is a lot harder. Yep.
It's a tough kick there, and it looks like it just actually just stayed right behind the tree, making a tough stance. It looks like she'll be able to recover from there. The basket's pretty protected, actually. I guess we'd say more of an unfriendly green, but Rebecca Cox had no problem right there going through those trees. Great birdie.
And I'm sure she had to navigate a little bit around those trees, so definitely probably a harder putt than it looked like from this angle.
Almost looked a little bit rushed, a little quick, potentially frazzled. Yeah. And par is a great score on this.
Yeah, honestly, this one didn't have a ton of birdies or bogeys. It played right around par, a little bit over par, but pretty much right around par. So pretty fair hole.
Couple of birdies carded there. We got Sarah and Rebecca on top of the box, and we are throwing over the water.
It was about 250 feet, hole 8.
Plays really friendly for each side, each arm shot.
Leaking a little left for Rebecca. Ooh, yeah.
Didn't quite make it to land there.
Paige probably throwing a putter of some sort. And yeah, ride straight.
Right in there for the birdie putt. Straight over.
Paige also going straight at it with what looked like a putter. And yeah,
great landing.
that'll work.
And obviously, as you guys can tell, there's out of bounds everywhere in the water in front of you, out of bounds deep behind the fence. And even if you were to carry far right, there's a whole nother pocket of water. So really important to be able to land your shot.
Yeah. And you can see Rebecca had to go from the drop zone, which isn't the most difficult drop zone, but it also hyzers back to the water. So it could be in your head a little bit.
Great birdie there for Paige. Took a knee putt.
Yep.
And cashes in on the birdie. Good 2 to get.
Yeah.
The basket sits a little bit low. It's got a little bit of a downhill slope. Definitely adds in that little bit of pressure. Yeah, way to be parked.
And we have about a handful of birdie looks out here. So this is definitely one that you would like to get, especially after some of those challenging holes that we just went through.
Couple of 2s there and kind of an unfortunate 5, but strong player. She's going to recover.
Hole 9 is a par 4 for the ladies. It's gettable for sure in 3, but you have to ride the hill and also not throw it too high, just like Paige did right there, and just press the hill. And if you can get over that hill, you are golden.
Yeah, I think players oftentimes plan on attacking this hole broken down piece by piece. Getting to the top of the hill for a lot of the FPO players is where you want to plant your first shot.
Yeah.
The more aggressive players are definitely trying to get on the downhill side of the slope, and any kind of kick or any kind of rumble down the hill is great. Whoa, did you see the action on that skip? Wow.
Yeah, she was still on somewhat of the back end of the hill there, so she still had some room to work.
Sarah looks like she came out of the woods nice there. Another safe landing. The green is completely surrounded by water on the right and in front of it, and so creates that little bit of extra challenge. Kind of makes the player sweat when you're throwing this up shot.
Oh yeah. I was on the top of the hill, just a little bit back from where Paige was. I attacked the green, and unfortunately I hit one of the trees on the right there and kicked right. So luckily I was able to save my par from there, but
that's great, actually.
Just one of those things, you know, you got to go for it sometimes.
Yeah, and I think it's hard to tell when you're watching on the screen. That green doesn't really even have 30 feet all the way around it in most areas. So a very technical landing shot.
Yeah. I was right where Rebecca is right now.
Great putt. Couple of nice pars. And the birdie.
There we go.
That feels good. That's definitely gaining a stroke on our field.
Oh, yeah.
And gaining her to the top of the box.
All right, that was the front 9 and made us back here for the next.
The infamous castle hole. Hole number 10 here at Maple Hill. Players have got to throw it uphill. It's not the furthest in distance shot, but throwing uphill usually adds quite a bit. And so players would say it plays a little more like just sub 300 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. This was I guess the 3rd easiest hole on the course today.
All right.
Yeah. So we got quite a bit of birdies out there.
Right in front of the actual structure there.
Yeah.
You got to hope to be tall if you're landing at the base of the structure. And then I don't even know if tall helps. Hopefully you have a turbo putt, which is not a skill. So, I mean, and not a skill that we practice.
Right there, you see it she was right up on the wall, and she had to give it that extra height, but just didn't land it.
Paige is kind of trying to figure out whether she turbos, kind of does a flippy putt. Can she get back far enough?
And Paige is not a tall person.
Yeah, so. No. I'd say she's about 5'2", so. Yeah. Oh, yes. You know, only being, that's all of 6 feet maybe away from the basket. What a stressful putt. Yeah. Great, too. Again, good looking putt. I think they were potentially racing on that. Simultaneously.
A par tee putt.
So 1 birdie, a couple of pars. That was a good hold for this card.
Yeah.
Now we're moving on to kind of a bomber.
Thank you.
Oh, Sarah with some fans. I think it said something like Ida Hokom. Go Idaho come.
I love that. Being from the state of Idaho, that's cool. Like pretty good distance there for Paige.
Yeah, it looks great. Ideally, you want to get past the pine trees, and it opens up to give yourself a good footing, not a pine tree in front of you. And it's hard to do. And at least yesterday, we had a pretty whipping headwind. Today was pretty calm, at least for our card.
Yeah, quite a bit more calm today, but you know, even that, usually you have quite a bit of wind on this hole, so most of the players practice it without wind. Paige just blasted that one up there. Yeah. Really nice pull. We're hoping it hyzers back, as it does. She's looking at a really nice second shot. Yeah, if you don't clear the Christmas trees, you're really making the hole a lot more difficult for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is a par 4 for the ladies. Yeah, it's one that you're hoping to get, but you're also really happy with a 4.
Put together 2 good shots in there for your birdie. As Rebecca just showed us.
Oh, yeah.
Another great up shot there.
Wow, that was a bomb. That was probably farther than a lot of the men might be getting off the tee. Wow.
Great drive.
Yeah,
beautiful birdie putt.
Man, is it gonna be a star frame? There's another one.
Half of them are in there. 2 birdies, looking good.
All right, come on, Rebecca. You got this.
It's a really well played hole here by this card. Top of the division right now, and that's exactly how it's done. We got 4 birdies on that hole.
That's awesome. Wow, look at all that blue.
All that blue, that's what we're hoping for. All right, another big distance shot and par 4 for our division. And there's Christmas trees up on the right-hand side. There's no out of bounds, but Christmas trees definitely deliver a huge amount of struggle if you're not getting over them.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going to say the play here is no matter which hand you're throwing with, just to land kind of high right-hand side.
Yeah. You'll be okay down on the left there, but after the first shot, you do have to navigate a sort of a tight window down into the fairway. So ideally, yes, you want to be right to really set yourself up for maybe a birdie. But this is played as the second hardest hole today.
That does not surprise me. Wow, did you see that? Sarah Hokom has thrown an overhand, which was a great play to get down the hill. Hopefully it slid all the way down there for her.
Yeah, so you can see where Rebecca is now. She has to throw a hyzer up to the gap and hopefully just stay in the middle, or maybe carry down as far as she can get it.
Looks like
Yeah.
came out a little early, but puts her in position.
Yeah. And actually, Paige was a little farther right than you probably
Almost
want to
too
be.
far, right? Paige problems, kind of thrown too far.
Ooh.
Tough looking third shot there.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see now it's straight downhill, but you have to navigate a tight fairway.
Downhill and kind of counterintuitive or counteractive to how the hill play or the fall line is. Your shots are going to funnel to the left naturally. So even though it looks kind of straight at that view or at other views that we saw, it's almost up to the right. And that's a tough play for anybody's putter to get to.
Yes.
There's a nice ditch in the background there that actually the circle is painted through, and that's kind of the catch-all ditch for both the FPO and MPO divisions. See a lot of putts coming up and out of that ditch just because of the way the fall line funnels. It's a great par there. Just a little off. Great putt.
Yeah, par is, being the second hardest hole on the course, you know par is a good score on
Par's
this hole.
gold. Got the comebacker.
Yeah.
And on to the next hole for Paige.
Yeah, there were actually no birdies on that hole today, and only 27% of our field parred this hole. So
okay, playing a lot
again,
tougher. 5, 4, 4, 5, and we're getting up to the top of the hill for the next shot. All right, here we are on hole 13, down the hill. The Christmas tree farm has been cut down. It's a lot more open this year. And I think one of the most common mistakes on this hole is that you can always feel the wind at your back when you're standing on the tee.
Oh, yeah.
And a little secret here, I'm letting it out of the box. There is always a headwind when you get down to the gap. There's a pocket of water kind of deep and right of the basket that is always going to allow the wind to be a headwind when you get down to the entrance. So the players that have studied this course or that might have known anything about that wind, they never let their shot change on the tee. Looks like that just suspended a little right.
Yep. And sometimes you can get lucky and punch through there, but a lot of the time that will not happen.
It's pretty thick, yeah. Another green that has kind of a catch-all little valley, I guess, running through it.
Yeah, right in front of the basket. But then there also is a hill right behind the basket. So it's really difficult to be aggressive on this hole.
Agreed. Very difficult.
Wow. There's Sarah with an overhand shot.
The overhand Scooby.
Yeah. Ooh. There we go.
Great. Coming back in there. Chains out and down in that gully.
Yeah, and that's one of those tough putts where you're looking and you see the hill behind and you just don't want to airball it.
Yeah.
So luckily she caught some chains and it sat right there.
It's a pretty small landing zone underneath that basket, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cleans it up and she's ready to get out of there and throw her next shot. Sarah, stress-free, tap in. It's really all a player wants unless you're going in for all kinds of birdies. Stress-free pars feel just as good.
Yeah, this was playing as the fourth hardest hole today.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah, interesting.
All the way over the water for hole 14. To me, it's always been really tough-looking left-handed or sidearm shot. As you can see, Sarah Hokom, who is a dominant sidearmer, is throwing backhand. She's throwing a spike hyzer all over the water, landing very safe.
Yep. And as you were mentioning, the headwind coming off of the water there.
And it's always headwind right to left.
Yep. That's rocking.
Beautiful. Aggressive and a great shot.
Yeah.
I think something worth mentioning on this hole is that, you know, a player likes to know when and where the bailout zone is and what the aggressive plays are. And actually, there is a false bailout on this hole because if you look over the drop zone, there's a whole nether pond behind that hill that's out of bounds. So definitely got to maintain the landing strip.
Yeah. Yeah, if you need to if you want to hyzer out, you have to still get some good distance before you hyzer out to the bailout zone.
I'm not sure what that was. Something a little distracting, but player resets. Cashes in world champion status right there. I hope everyone had a chance to notice that. Something was bothering Paige. I'm not sure if it was a spectator or a bird or what, but she stepped off of her lie, stepped right back up, and putting at death cashes in. Very good. Also a death putt, you know, looking at that water in the background, it's not the easiest thing to go for the birdie. So those were great shots. Up and down with her bogey. I'm hoping to get her disc back by the end of the tournament.
And par for Rebecca.
Par's a good score on this one.
Oh, yeah. I'm happy.
4, 2, 2, 3, leading us into hole 15. Another hallway.
Yes, definitely a hallway. Wow, that was hyped by Paige.
Yeah, I think we even hear a little yell, a little jump, a little dance.
Wow.
That was a pure shot.
Oh, nice. First available.
And pulled a little left.
It actually came out of her hands just a little bit early. She still had forward and right trajectory off that tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rebecca.
Ooh.
Up there, Heiser's back. I think it might even be deep at the penny. Great shot.
Like it.
Oh, God.
And Sarah hoping to flip up on the sidearm.
Looks like it does. Just leaking right a little bit, but
Puts her in position for that
Yeah.
putt, though. It's
Oh,
looking
yeah.
good. Let's see what Paige can do with this one. Gets herself up to the top of the hill. And I think she's just outside of circle 2 there, so gives her a chance.
yeah, she gave it a run.
Sarah Hokom putting for a 2.
Another
And
great
it looks
run.
like another stress-free par.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Bjerkaas is all over it. Like I said, she's at the height of her season right now, and it is showing. Nice birdie. Park City under that basket. All right. A variety of ways to get into the basket, as just displayed by the FPO division. Let's see, concluding hole 15, that gives us a 3-2-2-4. Order change.
3 more holes to go.
All right, hole 16 here at the MVP Open. And this is not an easy hole.
No.
However, it is a par 4 for the FPO
Yes.
division, which is actually a par 3 for the MPOs.
Yes. I believe it's about 540 feet, 530 downhill, but I guess there's like 2 gaps you can take, but ideally straight down the pipe. If you can land on top of the hill, you're going to be set up great for hopefully a birdie look. But it is easier said than done.
Right side.
Yeah, and then the other gap would be kind of coming off the box straight, but flexing over to the right-hand side and then hoping to hyzer out.
Yep.
That's the way to get in for the birdie.
Yeah.
That's what Sarah does here. Looks great. She's landed on the green.
Yeah, wow.
I can't tell if it's in or out of the circle, but that's definitely giving her a chance.
Yep, and you can see Paige landed just on top of the hill and throwing her putter out to the green. Paige off to the left, but it looks like she found it away.
Yes, makes it safely out of those gaps, and she's set up for the birdie.
All right.
Yeah, so this card actually, they know what they're doing, you know, and they're showing us the way.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful birdie there by Hokom. Love how she lines up her putt. She does a rhythm and routine, same thing every time, cashes in.
Yep.
Yeah, Rebecca. It's okay to celebrate that. Looks the same on the scorecard.
Yep.
Very nice. Easy tap in there, it looks like, for Paige. All right, hole 17, MVP Open. It's a dogleg right after the corner. As you can see, Rebecca has planned to place her shot, I'm assuming, straight, so she's got a good look at the basket.
Yeah, and this is a par 4 for the ladies. It's definitely one of the gettable holes on this course.
With that lefty or that sidearm advantage, actually, too, as Sarah was showing, you can actually get around the corner, too.
Yeah. This did play as the easiest hole on the course today.
Really?
Yep, at about a half a stroke under par.
Awesome. Paige Bjerkaas just playing it straight to her landing zone.
Yeah, that's just fine. Right up top the hill.
You can actually see the basket. You're hoping to land just short of it, as there is a, you know, not a death hill, but a pretty steep hill right behind the basket.
Yeah, and what makes it harder is it is one of the elevated baskets on the course as well.
Oh, yeah.
On one of those Disc Golf Pro Tour bins.
Yeah, so I'm actually glad to hear that it was one of the easier holes played on the course, because that basket is so tricky.
Yeah.
Looks like a good upshot there. I'm playing it safe because that basket is 8 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Looks like Paige got clipped down by a tree there, but it's still puttable.
Yeah, and Rebecca on the backside, that makes the putt actually even harder because it's even more elevated from that spot. Yep.
Good par save.
Also a good par save.
And a tap in for the birdie. Now, there's nothing like a tap in birdie. That just really feels good. Coming into the final hole of the MVP Open, we had birdie bogey by the last hole. Everybody's congratulating each other on, you know, it's like running the gauntlet. This course is never going to be played the same way twice. It's hard. It's a huge Pro Tour finale event. These ladies should feel good, you know, coming into this last hole. It's nice to be able to share some camaraderie.
Yeah, and this is just such a cool hole because usually, even the women, we have a little gallery kind of building up by the basket, which is always fun.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was already mentioned or not in the commentary earlier, but worldwide, I believe that this is the most exciting 18th green to come into just because of the gallery that's there.
Yeah. And this hole, you just want to bomb one as far as you can out there, and hopefully be past those pine trees that are right in the middle of the fairway.
I like how they leave just the two tricky trees and the rest of the Christmas trees cut, because a good shot could land just behind one of those.
Yes. And of course, that was a bomb.
Great shot. And actually, on my card, I'm really, really proud today. We had all 4 ladies get the birdie 3.
Oh yeah, I watched it live too. Zoe was a couple cards behind me, and it was awesome to see that. There was so much hype on the basket there. It was so cool. And Zoe, I have to mention your sweet approach to the green. Zoe is not a left-handed person, and she threw a left-hand backhand hyzer
approach to the green. I'll tell you, the sidearm didn't work yesterday, so I defaulted to what I should have already done, throwing lefty for my second shot. It was a pretty sweet deal, and the gallery made me feel like $1 million walking up
I wasn't sure if people realized you were throwing lefty. I did right away, and so I had to yell it out there
Thank you
just
so
to
much.
make sure. And that was Paige's drive, by the way. So that went really, really far.
Jump putting for that, too. What a great feeling.
Yes, that was, to walk up to that and be like, hey, okay, guaranteed 3, probably. But I also have an eagle look. It's amazing. Oh, and also to note, Paige looks confused here because on her approach, she actually hit dead center and splashed out. And we all cheered and then kind of sighed, but she didn't hear us sighing, so she actually got it stuck, and it unfortunately did not. It was still incredible, and she's still really excited about it.
Yeah.
It was so cool to see. So yeah, again, another tap-in birdie for Paige.
Yeah, I just got the chills even thinking about that eagle. I mean, she was celebrating, but still a great hole, a bunch of great birdies right there for the FPO division. Oh man, MVP Open, what will tomorrow bring? And please come back and join us for that round. I want to thank everyone out there for paying attention, for logging in and checking out the FPO coverage. I know we both want to thank Dynamic Discs for being such an incredible sponsor and for helping us be out here on the road. And let us know any kind of feedback out there and what we can do to help you guys out, because we're not going anywhere. We're just getting bigger and better.
Oh yeah, and thank you to the Disc Golf Pro Tour, Terry Miller, and we want to keep bringing you this coverage and keep bringing you the best commentary we possibly can. So any feedback that you have is greatly appreciated.
We're open to it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.